you get your podcasts.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
I'm not even going to give you guys a normal open. The text line loves to act like I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. I understand. That's the life that I've signed up for. That's the relationship that I have with the text line. I told you guys about Christian Pulisic just last week, and the text line scoffed at me. They laughed at me and said I didn't know what I was talking about. And then in the biggest United States soccer game, he was nowhere to be found. He was missing in action. We'll talk about him as the show progresses. We'll sprinkle in a little NBA. One of the great comebacks in World Cup history just happened. Argentina, they advance over Egypt. Argentina is going to play Saturday in Kansas City. Will Colombia meet them in Kansas City on Saturday? Their game is about to get going here in a couple of hours. My name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Rob is here as well. We are taking you up until 5 o'clock. The Royals have a 7-2 baseball game to lose. They will do so probably later tonight. Before we get to that and so many other things, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our dear friends over at The Other Place. Now, just because the United States is out of the Big Soccer Cup doesn't mean that you need to be out of the Big Soccer Cup. So go over to The Other Place. Grab yourself a bite to eat. Grab yourself something to drink. We still have one more game at Kansas City Stadium. Why don't you go over to The Other Place? You can watch the game, get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink. Maybe you can stop in for lunch. Just whatever you do, make sure you go see our friends over at The Other Place. This is where I would like to begin. Now, many of you are probably thinking that I'm going to begin today's show by needling and ribbon Rob a little bit for his favorite team being busted out of the World Cup. But I don't have any of those feelings inside of me. I don't have any of those emotions inside of me. I think that you should be proud of this United States team. This is who I think they are. I think the United States is Texas A&M. Now, I don't watch a whole lot of soccer. I don't know all the ins and outs the way that some of you do. So the only way for me to understand soccer is to compare it to something that I do understand and something that I'm knowledgeable of. You know what I think the United States soccer team is? I think they're an 8 or 9 win college football team that got the right schedule and the right breaks, and they were able to make the college football playoff. We see this happen every single year. We see this happen every single season in college football. You're a good team. You're probably the 21st ranked team in college football. But you know what? You're in the Big Ten, and you didn't have to play Ohio State. You didn't have to go on the road to play Michigan. You didn't have to go to a night game in Happy Valley and play Penn State. No, your toughest game was Iowa. You had Nebraska at home. You were able to navigate the board in such a way that you were able to accumulate a bunch of wins in conference play. And we look up and you think, how is Purdue 11-1? They're making the college football championship? You're an SEC team that you didn't play Alabama, you didn't play Georgia, you had South Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida, and you caught them all on down years. The United States, up until last night at about 7-10, they were clearly better than every team they had played so far in the World Cup. So I do want to commend the United States. They dominated their group. They dominated the first matchup in the knockout round, and they were certainly a deserving team of being in the round of 16. It was obvious and apparent that the team that they played was noticeably better than they were. At almost every single turn, they looked bigger, they looked stronger, they looked faster, they looked more physical. Belgium was so impressive to me that the guys that they had coming off the bench were impressive. Like, we spent a lot of time these last couple of days talking about Balogun. And Balogun's a phenomenal soccer player. It looked like Belgium had 5 of them on his team. They had the guy that scored the 2 goals yesterday. They had 2 guys coming off the bench, 2 older guys. One of those guys, he looked scary to me. The guy who scored the last goal of the game and they were doing the Trump dance, that guy, he looked scary to me. He looked bigger and stronger and more physical than anybody on the American team. They also brought some other guy in. You could tell his skill level was just incredibly high. This United States team did exactly what they were supposed to do. They were built to get out of the group stage. They were built to capture our imagination. They were built to get you to believe in what they had going on. But this is likely how their story was always going to end. They were the 8-win college football team that had a good regular season. They won a couple of games they weren't supposed to win. They got 10 wins. Next thing you know, you look up, and in the first round of the college football playoff, you got to play Oregon. And Oregon smoked your boots. Belgium isn't even a team that people think can win this thing. That's not France. That's not Spain. That's not Argentina. That's not a team that people before the tournament were laying money on to actually win this tournament. No, Belgium is a good team. And we saw there is a noticeable difference between being, I think, potentially at the top of that second tree. So not in the Spain, not in the Argentina, not in the France, not in the true actual contenders, but that second tier. There is a noticeable gap between being one of those teams and where the United States is. So I don't think there's any reason to hang your head if you were the United States. I think you competed. I think you captured the imagination of everybody. I think you got everybody excited. You gained a couple of fans. You created some stars over the course of it. But ultimately, the United States is a football team at a basketball school. I'm just going to guess at Duke. I don't think at Duke they really care if their football team wins the national championship. I'm going to guess that at Duke they don't really care if their football team wins the ACC. Now, no one wants their football team to be embarrassing. Nobody wants their football team to win 2 games, but can you win 7, 8 games? Can you win at homecoming? Can you be fun? Can you be enjoyable? Are you a program that we want to go tailgate for? Are you a program that we'll throw a couple of dollars at? Because ultimately, you were just a time passer until we get to the sport that we truly love. And America is a football, basketball, and baseball country. Those are the sports that we really care about. Those are the sports that we really push our athletes towards. Those are the sports ultimately that we live and die with. It would be cool if we were good at soccer. These other countries that they're playing and other countries that are developing their talent, they need to be good at soccer. They will do anything to be good at soccer. Soccer is that thing that America picks up once every 4 years. It gives you a reason to wear that Old Navy 4th of July shirt. It gives you a reason to go buy some new USA stuff. It was America 250. You got to wave the flag. You got to wave the banner. You got to be patriotic for a little bit. And it is now less than a month away from the start of the NFL preseason. So I want to give Rob a chance. This is Rob's favorite team. I just want to give you guys my thoughts. They got their doors blown off them. That's probably how this thing was always going to go. They have clearly proven to me that they are a top 20 team in the world. And there are a handful of countries, a pretty decent handful of countries, that the United States is clearly better than at soccer. They are better than Australia. They're better than Bosnia. They're better than Turkey. They're better than a bunch of these countries. But once you start getting to money time and the teams that are really good at this and the teams that are truly elite at this and have generational players and have real superstars that kids from around the world know, there is a noticeable difference. Ohio State and Kansas are both playing college football. There is a noticeable difference. Missouri and Georgia are both playing college football. It's different down there. The expectations, the athlete, the resources, the infrastructure, it's different. Yes, the United States and Belgium are playing soccer. It is different over there than it is here. The last time that these two teams played each other, they played each other in February. Belgium beat the United States 5-2. They just beat them 4-1 yesterday. That game was never close, never competitive. Belgium scored within the first 10 minutes of the game. The U.S. got a lucky deflection. Belgium then scored a minute later like they were even offended at the idea of the United States scoring on them. And then they toyed with them and they started dancing on them for the remaining 50 minutes of the game yesterday. They smoked the U.S. But you know what? It was fun. You got to go to Power and Light. You got to go to Fan Fest. You got to drink some good American beer. You got to celebrate. This World Cup was still what everybody thought it was going to. Before we started having this conversation, everybody we talked to, hey, what's your expectation for the United States? They met your expectation. They got out of the group. They got to the round of 16. It was fun. The ratings were good. Everybody should be happy with the way that the World Cup, at least domestically, has ended. Now, it's time for the countries that really, really care about soccer. The Colombias, the Argentina, the France, the Spains. It's time to watch those teams play in their sporting event that we are hosting. I want to get Rob's opinion next. I can read what you guys have to say, 913-586-7965. I really don't think there's any reason to hang your head. The United States at soccer is Texas A&M. They are Arkansas. They have some years in which they're pretty decent, but Texas A&M is not winning the national championship. Arkansas is not winning the national championship. There's a noticeable difference between those programs and the ones that you think can actually win something, that can do something truly meaningful. And we saw that yesterday play itself out in Seattle as Belgium boxed the United States all around the ring for 90 minutes yesterday. Keep it right here, Sir Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up 2 early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, don't miss your shot at an early win with 2 up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on a select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Honey, did you invite the Minions over? Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
When your plumbing systems need help, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles sump pumps, water heater installs, drain clearing, sewer line repairs, and much more. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sometimes historic events suck. But what shouldn't suck is learning about history. I do that through storytelling. History That Doesn't Suck is a chart-topping history-telling podcast, chronicling the epic story of America, decade by decade, from the 18th century to the 20th. Original music and immersive sound design accompany us on our storytelling journey. Listen to and follow History That Doesn't Suck, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Coming up in just a bit, I want to talk about this Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding because there's a group of people that are they're making a fool of themselves. I also think that we quite possibly saw the worst tweet in the history of the medium. There's so much to get into. So I want to tell you guys where we started today. I tell you guys this. I am not anti-soccer. It's just not my cup of tea. I've watched it. I've tried it. It's not a sport that I would follow on a regular basis. But for the World Cup, I've gotten into it. I've been watching it. I've been following it. I've been watching the teams and the players. So I feel kind of knowledgeable at least about this tournament. And I remember after the United States beat Paraguay, Rob, I asked you, hey, is this more about Paraguay, the fact that they could get beat 4-1 by U.S., or an example of the U.S. getting better? I do think the United States is better at soccer. I think their top end, their front end talent is noticeably better. But at least the appearances, they were beaten up on a lot of 3A schools. They eventually went up against Staley, and they got their boots smoked in the game that mattered. That's how it appeared yesterday. You were beaten up on Bosnia. You were beaten up on Turkey. None of these teams people think are any good. None of these people think that they can actually make noise in this tournament. Belgium is a team that can make a little noise in this tournament. Belgium is a pretty decent team. Ranked top 10. There was a noticeable difference between the United States and Belgium in that game. It was not a fluke. If they played 10 times, I think Belgium beats them 8 or 9 times. It was not close. The U.S. did not attack. They were not aggressive. They did not get consistent shots on goal. Belgium dominated that game in almost every single way that you can dominate a soccer game. But I don't think that's a reason to hang your head. I think that the United States is a program. They are an 8-win college football program. And I think they're fine with being an 8-win college football program. As long as we make a decent bowl game every year and the donors are happy and the boosters are happy, I don't think you'll ever have problems if that's what you continue to do. They'll never fire you if that's what you are. I really doubt if there's a higher ceiling for the United States in soccer. Since 1930, and that's a World Cup that had 13 teams in it, the United States has got past this round one time. They've got to the final 8 one time since 1930. 2 years ago, they didn't even qualify for the World Cup. So to go from not qualifying for the World Cup to winning your group and making it to the round of 16 should be something that you should be proud of, something that you should commend, in my opinion. So I've given my opinion. There's a lot of things I want to talk about in today's show. We don't have a whole lot of time, so the show's going to be moving around, but this is your team. I know you were devastated. I know you were heartbroken to watch your team get beat up the way that they did yesterday. How are you feeling after watching the U.S. lose last night?
I mean, it's the same song and dance we do every 4 years. I thought this team would be different. They weren't different. They were the same as every other year, always, forever. It's frustrating. I echo a lot of what you said in the open about the United States. I will say, I don't know this is their ceiling, but I don't know that the United States wants to invest what it takes to make this not their ceiling. Because to your point about a college football program that is an 8-9 win team and they're happy doing that, there are some college football programs that will be 8-9 win teams forever and they'll throw parades. I don't mean any shade when I say this. That's K-State. K-State is consistently an 8-9, sometimes 10-11, but they are a team that consistently wins 8 to 9 games. They're never going to win a national championship in Manhattan, but they are elated every single season. Talk to any K-State fan about Bill Snyder, Chris Kleiman, Colin Klein. It is all rainbows and unicorns. Look how great our program is. There are also some programs that are 8-9 win teams on that same tier as K-State, and they get frustrated. They get angry, they get annoyed, and they run coaches out of town because all you're doing is winning 9 games. And there's a fear that, hey, what the other side looks like could be worse, but it could be better. What bothers me about the United States men's soccer team is they are content to always be, but from the casuals, around a 16 team. And the federation, the people that run U.S. soccer, smile and nod, and they high-five in their offices. Hey, we gripped America. We got 30 million viewers. People love us. Everyone taps us on the head. Everyone's happy-go-lucky. We made the same spot. Maybe next year we'll give it another go, but good job, everyone. High fives abound. They don't do any of the things required to fix the problem so that is no longer their glass ceiling. And I am growing tired of every year getting excited to go kick the football like Charlie Brown and then falling short and then having the same conversations of this is just their ceiling. You want to know why it's their ceiling? They don't invest in the infrastructure. They don't invest in what it takes to be good at soccer, and they all seem to be content. Not casual fans, the people that run soccer in America seem content that this is their ceiling because it grips America every 4 years for 4 weeks.
We'll get back to the World Cup here in a little bit. There's a lot that I want to get into. There's a lot that I want to talk about today. We're off at 5 o'clock because of the Royals, so we haven't really talked a whole lot about it. We didn't get a chance to yesterday because we had a shortened show because of the Royals. The Royals just continue to throw a wrench in our plans on the show. So you guys know that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, they got married. Congratulations to them. Now, when 1,000 people get invited to something, there's certainly going to be people a little mad. They're going to feel a way that they weren't one of those people. You knew eventually this was going to happen. Will Compton, now I know who he is, but I don't know who he is. Like, I'm not very familiar with his work. Like, I know he was in the league, and I know he does some stuff with Barstool, but I'm just not super familiar with the gentleman. He's mad. And he is having a one-sided argument. There's nothing worse on social media than when you're having a one-sided argument with yourself. Nobody is going back and forth with you. It's just you being mad online. So we started to see pictures of people that actually got the invite to the Taylor Swift wedding. He was not one of those individuals. So he started posting pictures online of him hanging out with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. You know, they do that tight end university. Will Compton's been going to tight end university. So he felt like him and Travis were boys. So he tweeted out, I don't think I've ever seen Dean Blandino at tight end university. All right. Then they got a TV show called Wake Up Barstool, comes on FS1. So he was on there and he was talking about it. And Dave Portnoy, I'm sure you guys know who he is. They were kind of talking about it. Hey, how did you not get this invite? And they were kind of having a little bit of fun. Now, I think that Dave Portnoy was maybe having a little bit of fun in all of this. I don't think that Will Compton is having a lot of fun when it comes to this. They asked him if he thought this was personal. And then he and Taylor Lewan, who also played in the NFL, they're going back and forth. And he says, quote, I'm looking at some of these names. Yo, we're boys. I've known you for over 10 years. We call and we text each other. I'm clearly doing something wrong in our friendship. Clearly something wrong. There's a blind spot that I'm missing. And then Lewan, in a real sucker move, then shows his text of him talking to Travis Kelce, telling him congratulations. And then Travis Kelce replies to it and says, thank you. This is what I don't understand about this whole argument. If you got Travis Kelce's number and you think you're boys, the wedding did not sneak up on you. They've been talking about this wedding now for 6 months. They've been talking about who, what, when, where, and why with this wedding. If you were expecting an invite and you started to realize that you didn't have one, why didn't you privately call Travis to figure out what was going on if y'all boys? Like when Rob was getting married, I knew I wasn't in Rob's wedding, but I felt pretty confident that I was going to be able to go. When he invited me to the bachelor party, I figured I was invited. If I hadn't have got an invitation, at some point, I just would have been like, hey, Rob, have you sent my invite? Where is my invite? We just would have had that conversation. Maybe you're not boys because you're doing this kind of nonsense for the content and you're doing it for the clicks. You got Travis Kelce's number. If you said you've known him for 10 years and you text and you call each other, why didn't you have this conversation before in private? And now why are you having this conversation in public because you didn't get invited? It doesn't sound to me like you're upset that you didn't get a chance to celebrate their marriage. It sounds to me like you're mad you didn't get invited to all the celebrity party with all the important people, and you not getting an invitation highlights to everybody else that maybe you're not that important. That's how it reads to me. That's just my read on this situation. Rob, what do you make of this? I think this is corny behavior.
So I think two things can be true at once. First and foremost, I agree with you. This is performative by Will Compton, and I don't like that. I don't like that he took to social media to show his clout and how he's upset. There's definitely a way to handle this better than Instagram or Twitter. I agree. It's all performative, look at me BS. But I do think it's fair that he can feel a little bit of a way. If you're telling me Nelly and Ashanti and Joe Buck are invited, you could probably have anticipated an invite was coming. And I would tell you, it's a little bit in poor taste to ask if I'm invited to someone else's wedding. That's a faux pas, if you will.
I agree, but I guess I'm saying if it meant that much to you to go, and that's your boy, he's claiming they're boys. You call and text each other. Rob, what other man are you calling that you wouldn't consider a good friend? Text is a little bit different, right? We all text people. He says they call each other. He's invited him to his tight end university. So they got to have some personal relationship. That's like hey, am I invited to the wedding? Am I on the list? At that moment, you're going to find out how Travis Kelce feels about you. You're going to find out where you are in Travis Kelce's life if you think you're boys and you didn't get invited. Because there's a lot of people who consider Travis Kelce to be their friend. He invited them. Mitchell Schwartz, we know privately the relationship between those two. He got invited. So Will just found out that, hey, that relationship was all in your head. Travis don't think y'all as cool as that. That's what it sounds to me. And this was the realization. that he's having. So that's all I'm saying. Some of these things, you can just privately have these conversations if you got these people's number. You know them. You got a relationship with them. You were just taking pictures with Taylor Swift in February. So you got to know them in some capacity. This was all a phone call. It should have been a phone call from the very, very beginning.
Or, like you said, the wedding hasn't been secret. It's not like, hey, so-and-so's getting married this week. Oh, really? I didn't know. Everyone on earth knew when this wedding was, thanks to the Daily Mail and all those things. To my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong timeline-wise, last weekend, Travis Kelce got married. The weekend before that was Tight End U down at Vanderbilt.
Yep.
Will Compton was at Tight End U that weekend.
Yeah, he was.
If you were a week away from the wedding and you hadn't been invited and you felt the way,
you should have asked him right then and there.
Walk over and talk to him.
That's what I'm saying. You should have privately one-on-one had this conversation, not had it on television, not had it on Twitter.
Now, if that happened and Travis Kelce said, yo, we ain't like that, and you feel away because then you saw who got invites and you didn't make it.
He answered your question then.
He answered your question. You can still have feelings about not catching the invite, but you shouldn't go on social media to say, hey, why didn't I get an invite?
No, I'm with you. I feel like this is a very important message that I would pass this message on to everybody. This is a message that I think you guys should pass down to your kids and tell your kids this message. Everybody you're cool with is not your friend. I absolutely believe that Travis Kelce and Will Compton are cool, for sure. I believe they're cool. Hey, we can hang out. We can go do this. That person is not your friend. I got a big example. On his most important day, he invited Nelly over you. He invited Dean Blandino over you. Russell Wilson was at this thing.
That one's crazy to me.
How many conversations do you think that Travis Kelce has had with Jennifer Lopez? I'm guessing they ain't really had a whole lot of conversations. She was at this thing. A lot of people were at this thing. He answers your question. Y'all ain't boys like that. Y'all not cool like that. Let me play 2 audio clips for you guys that has nothing to do with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Congratulations to them. I imagine they are having one of the greatest honeymoons that any 2 people have ever had in their entire lives.
St. Joe, Missouri.
Let me play this first one for you. This is from Taylor Twellman. We like him. We like Taylor Twellman. I like him. He's good. Let me play this for you. He talks about the U.S. failing their first test of the year.
That was the first real test of the World Cup.
Yeah.
And what'd we get?
Yeah, I mean,
what'd we get? And listen, we've done stuff, right? We did stuff. You can't make mistakes at the highest level. You can't miss fundamentals. The first 2 goals from Belgium, they make you want to. It's not an easy watch, guys.
Yeah.
That's not an easy watch. That's a 50-50 ball inside the 18 that Des just looks around, lets it bounce, run through it. And listen, everyone on social media talks about, Sebastian Berhalter this. Give me 10 Sebastian Berhalters. He'll run through the wall at least. You cannot forget fundamentals, the little things. That is going to be, for that group of players, the most difficult pill to swallow. Because when you watch the tape, it's not my experience. I watched it. That's a difficult one to swallow. Those are simple fundamentals, and we missed all of them tonight.
2 things. I got more audio to play. I'm no U.S. soccer historian. In fact, I don't really know if I could give you a memory from many United States soccer games past this one. I mean, I've seen the U.S. play other soccer games. That's just not really memories that I've stored in my mind. What happened on that 3rd goal where the keeper didn't clear it and he short-footed it and Belgium then got the steal has to be one of the 5 worst goals given up in modern United States soccer history. It has to be. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, all of us are screaming, kick it out, clear it. Wait, hold on, what? They scored? I think at that moment, all of us had the exact same feeling. The same collective hope and excitement and, hey, they can win this game that America had going into it. I think we all at the exact same point. When they got down 3-1, and that's how they got down 3-1, I know you were thinking what I was thinking. Hey, pack these boys up. Hey, Chuck, where are they going to? Galveston. You had to be thinking the exact same thing that I was thinking. This is over. It was a fun run. It was enjoyable. But this part of our relationship, it's over. This fling that we've had with United States soccer, that was the end of it. That was the death. That was the start of football season. When they say, are you ready for some football? That's what they were talking about right then and there. That play. They didn't do any of the little things. I don't even know what the little things are in soccer. I know we didn't do them. That's number one. Number two, again, I don't know how shocking this can be. This is going to happen in college football. Rob, they were the team that went 4-0 in non-con, and then they got their first real test in early October and failed it. We see this happen every year in college football. You beat up on the Patsies, you beat up on the Cupcakes, and now it's October 11th, and you're on the road, and you're playing Texas, and Texas beat you 42-17. The United States had everything. They're the home team. They're in Seattle. Seattle might be the only city that loves the U.S. men's national team more than Kansas City. It's a perfect place for their games. Beautiful backdrop. Incredible, amazing stadium. You got your best player back. You're at home. The vibes are high. You gave up a goal in the first 10 minutes. Just an absolute beatdown they put on you. That's really what it felt like. They were a college football team that racked up a bunch of wins in September against a bunch of patsies. And in that first game, a conference play, they go on the road against Texas Tech, and they got the beats. Here's one more clip. This is from SportsCenter. This is Jeff Cameron.
We beat the teams that we were supposed to. Obviously, the Turkey game threw a little curveball to us because we were able to rest our players. And thinking that when we rest our players, we have a better performance against Belgium, right? But saying that, I thought we got to show our quality. We got to dictate. We were the ones that were the protagonists. We were the ones that we weren't underdogs, really. And that's the difference. 2014, we were the underdogs. We went to the group of death. We were, we've always, the U.S. has always been that underdog story. And this was the first time where people really said, hey, this team can do something great. And I think that's the thing that it's going to leave that sour taste in your mouth. So now 4 years later, they're waiting for this next opportunity to go back in 4 years.
I'm a big believer that Vegas knows. Like, whatever you think you know about sports or predictions or whatever, Vegas is 30 times better than you at it. Like, they get it. They are perfect with it. It's hard to beat them consistently. A very small amount of sports bettors actually beat the book. Rob, Vegas thought these two teams were close. I mean, that's what the line says, right? The line says this was a coin flip kind of game. It didn't really feel like a coin flip to me. Like, maybe the line was just reflective of where we live and people want to bet on the United States. Like, no one wants to be in a position where they're rooting against the United States, so the book can't really offer you a discount in that regard. But, Rob, you're telling me that was a coin flip kind of game? Because maybe I'm crazy. And I don't think the U.S. played well. I think Belgium would beat them 8 times out of 10 at a minimum. I think they beat them 9 times out of 10. I think Belgium is noticeably better than the United States.
I think Belgium is better. I think that was, 8 or 10. I think it's more like 6 to 7. I think the United States folded in the moment. And you see that in sports all the time. Teams are, these teams to be equal. It's an NCAA tournament game. It's the Sweet 16. They look equal on paper, and one team just absolutely does not rise to the occasion. Belgium is better. They were way better yesterday, no doubt about it. I think they are closer than most people think. This is not the end-all, be-all metric, but someone on social media said this, so I apologize for not crediting properly, but I saw this. If you take the starting 11 for the United States and you put them into this thing that gives the true value of the players in the open market, basically Belgium's roster and the United States roster is like $250 million, $270 million. They are very equal as far as how third parties view them. It's just the United States had its worst day ever and Belgium took advantage. I do believe Belgium is better, but I don't believe it's by that margin 8, 9 times out of 10.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Jason Davis. He covers soccer for SiriusXM FC. We'll get his thoughts on the World Cup. We'll get his thoughts on the United States as they are removed from this tournament. Coming up on the other side, one of the great comebacks of our generation, Argentina. They were down 2-0 in the 70th minute today against Egypt, and they roar back and score 3 goals in 20 minutes to win that game 3-2. And Lionel Messi just continues to show he is one of the greatest athletes that we have ever seen. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone, Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. If you have breast, head and neck, or brain cancer, proton therapy may be a better treatment than conventional radiation. Don't wait. Get your second opinion at Kansas City Proton Institute. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced proton therapy team. Learn more at kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 888-358-6868.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 90.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Bet365 presents Odyssey Sports Midsummer Baseball Showcase Special from Philadelphia, Monday, July 13th, starting at 9 o'clock. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only. Follow the station on Instagram @TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Rob, I just saw this on the timeline. I actually did not know this existed until about 30 seconds ago. There's Big 12 Media Days going on right now? It's this early? We're already here? Big 12 Media Day? Is that real? I'm not trying to be funny. I had absolutely no clue that the Big 12 Media Days, I mean, I knew it was coming up soon. I just thought it would be like the middle of July, not days after the 4th. So they just left their 4th of July with their family and they just got on the plane and it's time to do the media interviews during the middle of the World Cup. Like, who's paying attention to this at this point?
I mean, the Big 12 should be happy no one's paying attention because Brett Yormark's comment on Brendan Sorsby today was yuck.
This is why, and I'm not here to defend the media. I guess I am, maybe a little bit. Now let me paraphrase it. But the Big 12 commissioner was asked about Brendan Sorsby today. Quote, "Today is not the time to address that issue. Today is about celebrating the upcoming football season and celebrating our 16 schools. When is the time to address the Brendan Sorsby situation if it's not at Big 12 Media Days?" Like, I know you guys might not believe this, but your questions as an interviewer are really only as good as the person answering the questions and how much they are willing to share. That's it. That's really what it is. Do you know that person? Do you have a rapport with that person? Or, in a lot of ways, are you famous enough to get them to answer honestly and openly? That's really what interviewing is 80% of the time. There's more, but that's a big part of it. I'm imagining this was a regular question that the commissioner should want to speak on. If he doesn't want to talk about it, when is the time to talk about it if it's not then? The Brendan Sorsby issue, I mean, we all know how this is going to go. I always say you never really ever have to answer anything. You never have to. All you have to do is no comment and move on, and then people will get tired of it and say you're beating a dead horse. Mike Vrabel will never have to answer another Diana Rossini question. Football will be here. He'll get asked about it. He'll say he's not talking about it. And then your fan base will then say, quit picking on him, quit beating a dead horse. So, I mean, Brett Yormark will never have to answer the Brendan Sorsby question. So I just saw that, and it distracted me. I apologize. Might as well keep it with Big 12 sports while we're thinking about it. Have you been keeping an eye on Darren Peterson?
In his 2 Summer League games, yes. I'm aware he's hooping. You know what it looks like when he's healthy? He can hoop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure wish he had done that in December.
I have a list of games where I'd like to see this happen.
Sure wish he had done that in January. Been great in February.
Remember that game at MSG against Duke? Would have been fun to see then.
Probably would have won that game. Had this version of Darren Peterson been there, this version of Darren Peterson, he's hooping. He's been the best player in Summer League. I know it's just 2 games. It's early, but no, Darren Peterson he's been fantastic in these games. Now, I mean, it's July basketball, so I don't know how much you can put into it. But after the game, they kind of asked him, and he said, quote, "I say this all the time. I'm a Kobe guy. Anytime I can assert dominance, I try to. So at the end of games, I try to kill." My brother, at the end of the games at Kansas, you tried to find the bench. I don't want to hear this, dog. I really don't. I know it doesn't matter to me anymore. He's out of my life. He's off my team. He's out of our city. I don't care. It don't matter to me. I don't care. But just still, it's just at the end of games, I try to kill. Bro, you was checking out of games. What are you talking about? Okay. I mean, good luck to you with the Utah Jazz. I hope everything goes well. But he is hooping. I have not watched a game yet, but I have seen both of the highlights for him. I actually probably will watch him this week in Summer League. And now he's been balling. I'm here to tell you. He's off to a fantastic start so far in Summer League. Rob, I actually did not get a chance to watch this game, but I was keeping an eye on it. I was, keeping the track of the score. What happened at the end of the Argentina game? Because it looked like Argentina was about to be sent packing, and then next thing you know, they just went on an absolute blitzkrieg bop at the end of that thing and dominated.
I mean, we were watching out in the newsroom. Spec, some of the people from KMBZ, they were down 2-0 in the 77th minute, and they won in regulation.
That's hard to do.
It's very difficult. I mean, it's a duh comment by me, but Lionel Messi started playing at a level that it was wow. They put him on the right wing. He had a quick assist to cut it to 2-1. Then he made a couple plays down the wing. It led to 2-2. He scored the goal. He flipped a switch, and Argentina joined him, and Egypt could not match the intensity. I know post-game, one of the Egypt players claimed the game was rigged. Come on now, stop it. I mean, the game's the game. But
I'm so happy, honestly, to find out that the rest of the world is just like us. That's what I'm really happy to. The rest of the world thinks that the league is rigged to make sure that certain teams advance and they don't advance. The rest of the league hates instant replay. I'm just so happy to realize that even though it's a different sport, even though it's a different culture, climate, all of those things, I'm just happy to know that in the end, sports fans are sports fans, and getting busted from the tournament and then claiming that it was rigged when you had a 2-0 lead with less than 15 minutes in the game and lost. I mean, that tracks to me. That actually makes a lot of sense. It really does. That makes a lot of sense to me. That seems fair. Now, I want to save some of my Christian Pulisic stuff, but I want to talk about it a little bit here. Now, again, I say this as somebody that I don't watch a whole lot of soccer, but the best player on Norway, Erling Haaland, it's noticeable. You don't got to know a whole lot about soccer. If you watch them play, it'll be pretty clear who the best player is. If you don't know a whole lot about soccer and you watch Argentina play, and I say, hey, maybe the greatest soccer player in the world is on their team. You're like, oh, okay, cool, I'll watch it. I think you'll notice pretty easily, oh, that's who you're talking about. Kylian Mbappe is another one of those guys. Like, he different. For all the conversation that we've had about Christian Pulisic, I've never seen him do anything to make me think that he's different. I've never seen him do anything to make me think that he is a star. Rob, you've been telling me about Christian Pulisic now for 6 years. You have been telling me about him. You've been telling me how it's next up, how he plays at Chelsea. I've been hearing all of these things about Christian Pulisic, and great. Hey, I don't got nothing against him, man. I don't really know much about him, to be completely honest with you. But now when it's time to show up, I mean, this is the time to show that you are an elite soccer player. And I'm seeing all of the guys from Brazil, Vinny, showed up, played at an incredibly high level. Yamal on Spain, Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, all of these dudes that soccer people tell me, hey, he the truth, he different. I thought Christian Pulisic was one of those guys. I thought he was going to be a star. I just don't see it. It does not jump out to me. Maybe he will do all those things in the games that I don't play. And that's possible. I don't know. I don't watch the EPL. I don't even know what other team he's on. I think he's on Chelsea. Maybe he's not on there. I don't know anything about him. I'm just telling you, every time somebody has told me, watch that dude, I've never seen him do what you guys told me he's supposed to do. I just don't see it. It doesn't jump off the screen the way it does with all of these other countries and their best player. So if you had told me coming into this thing, that's the United States' best player, it's Christian Pulisic, it explains why when they played an actual good team, why they got dominated the way that they did yesterday. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to head to the phone lines. We're going to be joined by Jason Davis. He's with SiriusXM FC to get his thoughts on the World Cup and what happened yesterday as the United States got trounced by Belgium. Keep it right here, so Drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man, Carrington.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
This active storm season has made an impact on Kansas City roofs, and at Century Roofing, we're busier than ever. To keep up with demand, our award-winning team is now hiring loaders and repair technicians. We offer great pay, a strong team, immediate openings, and room to grow with our KC-based, female-owned company, trusted for over 35 years. Apply in person or online today at centuryroofingkc.com. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's. All summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Coming up in a little bit, we will talk about one of Rob's favorite athletes, Christian Pulisic. Did he play in yesterday's game? I mean, he was out there, but he was out there for cardio and vibes for the most part, and he also checked out of the game. The U.S. played 5 games in the World Cup. He missed 1 game. He left 2 other games because of injury. He has scored 1 goal in the last 14 games for the United States. He has been missing in action for the United States team, and they really needed somebody to step up yesterday, and he was not one of those individuals. I want to play for you guys a conversation that I had earlier today with Jason Davis. He is with SiriusXM FC, covers soccer, and we started our conversation with, what is the ceiling for the United States men's team? I kind of think they're pretty close to it.
I think this stuff happens slowly over time. I've been covering, writing, podcasting, doing radio about soccer for 20 years. Absolutely, there has been improvement in those 20 years. It's undeniable that there's been improvement in American soccer in those 20 years. 20 years ago, we didn't have multiple players playing for Champions League level clubs in the biggest leagues in Europe. That was not a thing we could even have dreamt of at the time. So there's improvement. The question is whether or not you can coalesce all these pieces together, whether it's Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Folarin Balogun, whether you can put them all together in one team in one moment every 4 years and make that all count to break into a club that, as you described, involves France and Spain and England and some of these other nations where, to be fair to us, football is life. Their chief sport, the only sport they care about, the only sport that any of those kids who grew up in and around Paris care about playing is soccer. I hate the best athletes argument as a reason why we're not on that level, but there's something to the idea that culturally we just do not have that pressure. We do not have that desire. Maybe one day we will. Who knows?
Right now, we're breaking down the United States loss yesterday to Belgium in the World Cup. If you had to sum things up yesterday, because it's easy for somebody like me to say, everything went wrong. You've been covering this sport for a long time. What went wrong yesterday for the United States?
I mean, my analytical brain wants to say that they plan or there was something the Belgians did that unsettled the Americans, that there was something they hadn't seen before, but to me that came down to execution. To me, I don't like the idea that they didn't care. I think they did care about winning, but for whatever reason they came out flat as a team, and that sort of psychology infected everybody. They gave up a goal 9 minutes into the match, and they never recovered from that mentally, right? And you could see that Belgium was a better team to exploit some of the deficiencies in this U.S. men's national team than the teams they had played in the group phase, the Paraguays, the Australia, obviously Bosnia in the last round. Those teams let the U.S. have the ball. They let the U.S. dictate the game, and when the U.S. had that opportunity, they did really well with it. With Belgium, who is certainly technically capable of whipping the ball around the park, the United States had more trouble. And if you get bullied the way that Tim Ream did on the second goal, if you don't attack the ball when it bounces in the box, which is one of the biggest no-nos in soccer when you're talking about defensively covering your own net, these things are going to happen. And again, I think for whatever reason, they weren't able to hit the switch necessary to really get themselves back into that game.
I mean, looking at Belgium yesterday, they just looked bigger, stronger, faster, and more skilled than the U.S. Like, I'm watching them, and they got guys coming in as subs. The guy who scored the last goal on Belgium, he looked like he would have been the best player on the United States. Like, they just looked more physically imposing than the United States.
Well, that's Romelu Lukaku, and absolutely Lukaku is physically imposing, and we don't have one of those guys right now, and maybe we've never, again, made progress, but we don't have sort of that next level of player, right? And again, we don't have the depth either. So what you saw from Belgium is what you're talking about, that they were able to kind of rotate through their team and pick a couple of guys who hadn't even started some of the games in this tournament. They left a guy like Kevin De Bruyne on the bench. Kevin De Bruyne, he's 35 years old, so he's no spring chicken, but he's one of the best players of his generation, full stop, across the globe. And they were like, yeah, we don't need you right now to go beat the Americans. Full stop, across the globe. And they were like, yeah, we don't need you right now to go beat the Americans.
Right now, we're talking to Jason Davis. He's with SiriusXM FC.
Christian Pulisic is out there saying, hey, I'm the best. I don't think that's his mentality, but he does seem to have shirked from the biggest stage when he had the opportunity on home soil to do something big in this tournament. He had a good first half against Paraguay. That's a long time ago. Obviously, he picked up an injury in that game. Who knows how much of a factor that was for how he looked. He looked slow. He didn't have that quick first step, which is it's so critical to his game. He can beat players just by that quick first step. He can earn fouls. He didn't do any of those things. He was a black hole with the ball. He was playing backwards. It seemed as though he, just like everybody else on that team, didn't have whatever it was mentally that would allow them to get themselves back in the contest. And then ultimately he gets hurt and he leaves, and it's a very sad ending to his World Cup.
What do you think is next for the United States in terms of development, in terms of the next 4 years as they prepare for the World Cup coming up in Spain in 2030? What's next for the United States men's soccer program?
Oh, well, first and foremost, it's finding a coach, because Pochettino's contract was set to run out after this tournament. Now, we had reports before the tournament that U.S. Soccer had made him an offer for a new contract. He said after the game yesterday that, that wasn't the time to talk about it, and that, there would be a conversation at some point. He's probably going to be an in-demand coach for a club job, which is obviously where he came from. This is not where you would expect him to be at this point in his career. It was kind of a coup for U.S. Soccer to get him. U.S. Soccer got a subsidy from a billionaire to pay his salary. So there's lots of things kind of up in the air in terms of Pochettino. I'm not sure I want him back. In international soccer, you tend to have guys who come back for a second cycle, and the message gets stale, they get bored, things go south. It happened for the United States. They brought back Greg Berhalter, things went south, they fired him, they ended up with Pochettino eventually. Pochettino's only been in this job for, 2 years? And they ended up with Pochettino eventually. Pochettino's only been in this job for, 2 years? Something like that. He doesn't know what it's like to do a full 4-year cycle as head coach of a national team that's not going to be playing against the biggest European powers, because they have their own things going on. So unless you're going to be happy playing Honduras and Mexico and CONCACAF Nations League, and maybe, if we're lucky, a Copa America that could involve Brazil and Argentina, he's probably going to want to move on for a different challenge. So then the United States is in that position to go back out and find a coach. And I'll tell you, I don't think there's an obvious candidate right now.
I don't know if this is crazy to say, but ultimately I am proud of this team. I think this team came really, really close to hitting its ceiling. Now, obviously, everybody wanted them to play better in the round of 16 against Belgium. But as I mentioned when we started this conversation, they dominated their group stage. They easily won their first knockout round game, and they made it to the round of 16. If you had asked every U.S. soccer fan, this is where they expected them to go, this is where they wanted them to go, people seem to really rally behind soccer. People really seem to support this team and like this team. They developed a couple of stars and new fresh faces. I'm proud of the way that this team competed for the most part in this tournament.
I would agree. I mean, sort of in the big picture, there are a couple of things that happened around the tournament that kind of soured that. Obviously, the end of it, the performance, right? The fact that it looks like they didn't have, I don't know, whatever, the mentality necessary to compete. People thought they didn't try hard enough, right? Which I hate, because I think they care about winning, but they clearly didn't have whatever it was yesterday they needed to push Belgium. That's going to be a black mark on this performance in this tournament. You also have, obviously, the Balogun red card thing. He gets a red card. Yes, it was questionable, but, generally speaking, these things don't get overturned. You don't get unsuspended in the middle of a tournament. To have that go down the way it did, which possible political influence really turned not just the rest of the world against this team, but I think a lot of Americans are like, this is not how we want to do this. So there are a couple of things that maybe will drag down the energy. I also said before the tournament that I thought a quarterfinal appearance was sort of the bare minimum to call it a successful World Cup, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. I don't think it was a successful World Cup when you had your games in the United States of America, and you could have captured a million more fans if you just kept this going one more round and got a chance to play against Spain. But they showed some things that encouraged me, right? They showed a mentality in the first part of the tournament that I did like. They went after the game. They showed a maturity about winning matches and fighting for their opportunity to make the knockout stage. The crowds responded. We got the country roads moments that I don't think those fans who were in the building will ever forget. So those things are positive.
I'll follow up with that with this question. What do you think the legacy of the golden generation is? Because they mentioned this a couple of times on the broadcast about this being the biggest game of their soccer lives, and it all kind of led to this. And on the first World Cup since 1994, like there was obviously a lot of pressure on Pulisic and Balogun and all of those guys to have success in this game. Everything was leading up to it. How would you kind of define that golden generation as we are moving forward?
It's a good question. I always bristled at the golden generation thing because it's contextual, right? They're our golden generation. Doesn't mean they measure up to the golden generation of Spain, of France, and England, and Argentina. All those countries have won World Cups, right? We have not. So for us to say golden generation, I guess it just created a burden on them to perform at a level that would have been, beyond what this country has ever done. Now, at some point, obviously, we want to break through. We want to get to that next level, and we want to be a quarterfinal team as often as possible. We want to make a semifinal, all those things. That's absolutely true that moment needs to come at some point. But it's really tough for me to be too heavy-handed with my criticism of this quote-unquote golden generation when we kind of still are where we've always been. The rest of the world didn't stop getting better. And so for us to be top 15, top 20 on a regular basis, that feels about right to me. Now, this group, again, will probably be taking some criticism because they didn't do the extra thing, especially on home soil. Pulisic didn't show up in this tournament, not in the way we needed him to. Weston McKennie had a good group stage, but obviously it's about your last performance. And, Tyler Adams, Balogun in his first World Cup and being added to this team in the last cycle, I think he's going to come out of this looking pretty good. Chris Richards, pretty good as well, despite the performance last night. We're going to be saying goodbye to some players who weren't really part of the golden generation. So it's a mixed bag. I think, for the most part, these guys will slot right in with the Michael Bradleys and the Josie Altidores as players we revere within the context of American soccer without, calling them, extra special.
That was Jason Davis of Sirius XM FC joining us to talk a little bit about the World Cup as the United States was eliminated yesterday against Belgium. We had one of the more exciting games of the tournament. I don't know how. Argentina just continues to play in these games. Argentina had one of them against Cape Verde a couple of days ago. They had one earlier today against Egypt. They were down 2-0. In the 77th minute, they scored 3 goals in regulation time and win 3-2. A great win for them. Lionel Messi also scored in this. So Argentina, they have advanced to Kansas City this weekend. We will see if they will play either Switzerland or Colombia. Those two teams are playing right now. The winner plays Saturday at Kansas City Stadium, and that is the final game that Kansas City will host in the World Cup. Speaking of the World Cup, coming up on the other side, we are going to talk about Rob's favorite athlete, Christian Pulisic. Where was he in this tournament? We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your home for all things Chiefs football and Royals baseball.
I'm a professional complainer.
Is The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page.
If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
We all do it. You have a night for yourself but don't like the sound of the silence, so you turn on the TV just for the ambience. It's a little trick that helps you feel like you've got company and aren't alone. And other insurers, well, they may make you feel alone. But when you switch to Geico, you've got claims reps available around the clock. So whenever you need, you'll have people around to help. And let's turn on the washing machine, just for good measure. Isn't that soothing?
It feels good to have support. It feels good to Geico.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I know everyone is feeling the pinch of high gas prices right now, and that's why I love Hy-Vee. They have fuel saver discounts scattered throughout the store. I love going up and down the aisles trying to find those fuel saver discounts. And if you shop Hy-Vee this Saturday and Sunday, you're going to get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount when you spend $60 on groceries. So you can stack up the savings with Hy-Vee fuel savers, and your next fill-up could be free. There's nothing better than saving money on gas and doing it only at Hy-Vee.
It's Thirsty Thursday at Hy-Vee. Time to stock up the bar and fill up your tank. Earn 50 cents per gallon fuel savings on every $50 purchase of wine, beer, hard seltzer, and spirits. Mix and match all your favorite libations and get a 50-cent fuel saver with every $50 purchase. Stack up the savings and your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss Thirsty Thursday at your Kansas City, Missouri Hy-Vee. Product promotion differs by location. Offers valid where legal, available while supplies last.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Here's Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Cleanup continues with this crash that is 70 eastbound just past Lee Summit. Right lane is blocked. We've got on 35, it's northbound just before 435. That's a stalled big rig. Southbound 35 at 435, very slow both directions as well. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right. Text line 913-586-7965. This is what I want to talk to you guys about. There's a lot of things I love about sports. I love the athleticism. I love the drama. I love the tension. There's a lot of things I love about sports. My favorite thing about sports is you can only hide it for so long. Eventually, Miami of Ohio had to prove to us how good they were. Who cares what you did in the MAC and beating up on all those teams? Eventually, you had to play some big dog teams from another league. We talk a lot about in the NFL how you don't think this team is good because of the schedule and they didn't play this team. You know what? Eventually, you will line up against a team that the public thinks is good, and you got to prove it. You cannot hide it forever in sports. If you are a top fighter, eventually you're going to have to go up against another top fighter to prove to us that you are the best. This is the case in a team aspect. This is also the case in an individual aspect. Now, I understand that not all of you are a fan of this player, but you know what I am saying is true. One day, somebody told you about this teenager from Akron, Ohio, who was really, really good at basketball. And they sold it to you in a way that he could be the next Michael Jordan or the next Magic Johnson. And you probably went into that game a little bit skeptical. Maybe not as good as y'all say he is. Let me see for myself. And you saw that kid from Akron, Ohio. He turned out to be really, really good at basketball. You guys remember early Mike Trout conversations? How early Bryce Harper conversations? Early Tiger Woods conversations? Bryce Harper was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 16 years old. He graduated early from high school so he could go play JUCO. He wasn't getting enough playing other high school kids. He went to go play JUCO baseball. Hey, I want to see if that kid's really good. He proved right. He ended up being really good. He's going to make the Hall of Fame one day. I've sat here and I've listened to Rob tell me about Christian Pulisic. Rob has 2 jerseys, one of which I bought Rob as a gift for his engagement. I got him an old school Rafe LaFrance jersey, the official, not a remake, not a Mitchell and Ness. I mean the old school champion jersey back in the day. And he also has a Christian Pulisic. I've never seen him wear a Mahomes. I've never seen him wear a Kelsey. I've never seen him wear a Paul Pierce. Those are the only 2 jerseys I've ever seen Rob wear. Christian Pulisic is his favorite athlete. I've sat here and I've listened to Rob talk to me about golden generation and how important this World Cup is and how they've been gearing up for this World Cup. So I wanted to see if it was true. I wasn't watching Man City or Chelsea or whatever team he was playing on. This is the World Cup. Let's see what you do. Christian Pulisic yesterday, he was doing his best Where's Waldo impression. You couldn't find him. It was like an I Spy book you read with your kid at bedtime. I couldn't find him. What in the world was he out there doing? He has scored 1 goal in the last 14. He led the game in turnovers yesterday. Then in the second half, he then kicks his own foot or kicks somebody else's foot and then limps around and eventually has to get removed from the game. as I told you guys, I don't watch soccer nearly enough to tell you that Christian Pulisic is bad. I honestly, I don't know. I can only go off what I'm supposed to go off of. But I'm telling you, I've never seen him be good. I've never seen him score a goal. I've never seen him have an assist. I've never seen him look like the United States' best player. I'm starting to believe that it was all fake. Like he's Kaiser Sose. Like he's the therapist from The Sixth Sense. That's what I'm starting to believe. That's what I'm starting to feel like. I don't believe that any of it is real. I've never seen it before. I've never seen that guy be good. And yesterday when they needed him to be good, he wasn't good. I mean this in all seriousness. I just started watching the United States, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. I didn't know who this Flo Ballingen guy was 4 weeks ago. Had no clue. Twelman, I didn't know who Antonio Freeman's kid was. I had no clue. There's no way you came out of watching the World Cup and watching the U.S. and thinking that Christian Pulisic is one of their 3 best players. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. Not based on what they did in the World Cup. I'm not saying their resume. I'm not saying what they did in the EPL or games that maybe you weren't watching or weren't paying attention to. I'm talking about in these World Cup games, if all you got is these 5 games like I have to go off of on who I think is good and who I don't think is good, there's no chance you come away with that thinking that he's one of their 3 best players. There's none. I feel lied to. Let me tell you, I feel had, hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. That's how I feel watching Christian Pulisic play soccer. You guys lied to me. That's what happened. You guys lied to me. I was led to believe that he was the next great American sports superstar. That's what I was made to believe. That he was Simone Biles. That he was Michael Phelps. That he was Anthony Edwards. That he was Jason Tatum. That's what I was led to believe. No. It's fool's gold. He doesn't pass the smell test. He doesn't pass the little diamond test. All of it just feels fake. Rob, you got to defend your man. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I didn't see what I just saw. Because he played extremely poorly. And one of the reasons they got smoked yesterday was because of him and him not being nearly good enough.
All right, let's have a Christian Pulisic conversation.
Let's do it.
I'm excited to have this. First off, you said he was MIA. Oh, I saw him. He was the guy who was awful. He, at one point, in his first 5 touches, had 3 turnovers. He was back to the goal. He was going the wrong way more than he was going the right way. He was really bad yesterday. As you know, I have been long a defender of Christian Pulisic. He has been the face of what's supposed to be the generation that changes things for American soccer. It was 10 years ago, he was a 17-year-old wonder kid who took the field, ironically, in Kansas City. For his first friendly, he scored a goal. He was this phenom 17-year-old who was playing at Borussia Dortmund. He was getting high praise from his coach, Jurgen Klopp, who was one of the best coaches in the world. He was being pursued by all the biggest clubs in the world. He was the face of change. He was the next it thing in European soccer. But if you look at the 3 World Cup cycles he's been a part of, it has been failing. It has been entitlement. It's been infighting. It's been problems. When he first took the field for the United States in a World Cup, we're pushing forward, he was the teenager on the team that failed to make it. That was 2018. Everyone gave him a pass, myself included. Hey, there was Clint Dempsey on that team, Matt Beasler's on that team. That's a veteran-laden team. You're a 17-year-old. You can't be expected to fix things. They fail to make the World Cup. He gets a pass. 2022, he really has one moment in a game against Iran in the World Cup. A game that, by the way, after scoring a goal, he left due to injury. He was MIA against the Netherlands. He was MIA in the other match against England. He was just kind of out there. And a lot of people gave him a pass. Hey, Greg Berhalter's the coach. He's a bumbling doofus. How can you expect Christian Pulisic to be good when he's coached by a bumbling doofus? Fast forward to this World Cup. He's got the coach. He's got the veteran leadership. He's supposed to be the guy. Everything's supposed to work. He had one good half against Paraguay. He leaves with injury, misses a match, checks into a match, doesn't matter, and was MIA or actually terrible last night. When you combine all those things with the fact that under his, poster child time is for the U.S. men's national team, there have been no magical moments. There's been nothing fans have written home about. There's been one quasi moment, but even then, it's small. They basically had a team in 2022 that was infighting. The coach and the players never got along, and there's been rumors and questions of entitlement between former players and these players who say they don't care about it. He says he just tunes out the noise, but there's always been a sense that they don't really care about wearing the crest on his chest. And then, right before this World Cup, the coach stripped him of his captaincy. You're supposed to be the leader, the guy on this team. They take captain away from it. They give it to a 39-year-old MLS player. Did you hear him say, hey, that irks me. I'm going to go out there and play the chip on my shoulder. I'm going to earn the armband back? Nope. Christian Pulisic has always fallen short, and I've made excuses for him. The analogy I saw on social media, and it's perfect. We made him Captain America, and he is too weak to pick up the shield. I have now turned on Christian because he has never lived up to expectations. We wanted him to be a leader of a new generation. He has shied away from leadership and been the poster child of what could have been, should have been better.
What are you going to do with your jersey?
I mean, it's a Chelsea jersey. He doesn't play there anymore, so it goes into the closet.
It's a throwback now. I want to play a couple audio cuts for you guys. Carly Lloyd, American legend. She also agrees. Christian Pulisic, not good enough yesterday.
No, look, it's a bit of a downer for us being out here now after this loss, but I felt like they lost the game before they even stepped out onto the pitch, and I'm not sure why, and I don't know the reasons, but just from the beginning, just chasing, tentative, scared, just not confident on the ball. And I think big-time players, you wanted some of those big-time players to step up in big moments. And I got to be honest, I was a bit disappointed with Christian Pulisic. I think whether he wants to be the star of this team or not, we didn't see enough from him in this particular game and really the whole World Cup. Little glimpses here and there.
He didn't do nothing for 2-3 weeks. I can't remember a Christian Pulisic moment in this tournament. I can't remember a play, a sequence, nothing. I remember Freeman. I remember Balogun. I remember that free kick. What's the guy that hit the free kick?
Tillman.
I remember Tillman. Christian Pulisic, MIA, bruh. Not good enough. He didn't report for duty. He wasn't there. Embarrassing performance. Here's Clint Dempsey. Here's what he had to say about yesterday's disappointing loss to Belgium.
Yeah, Thierry said it best. There's levels to it. We didn't start the game well. The way in which we conceded, Ketelari played really well. Trossard played well. Tillemans played well for them. Luka Bacco as well. And then we get the goal against the run of play. You think, okay, we're back in it. But then we concede right away. All right, so we come out of the second half, got a little bit more life to us. Looks like we're going to get back into the game. And to concede a goal, which we did when Matt Freese made that mistake. I mean, it was too much of a mountain to climb. And then to add insult to injury, another mistake from Chris Richards at the end. Lukaku gets the goal. So, look, happy for the team to have dealt with the pressure that they had on their shoulders to go out and inspire this country and get that home field advantage. But still, we're in the same situation. We're not getting past the round of 16. And to be considered a great team, you got to do what the team in 2002 did or the team in 1930 did. So there's a lot of positives to take away, but at the same time, there's levels to it, right? And look, proud of the boys for the heart that they showed, but when you came up against a side that was, a top 10 in FIFA rankings, to see what you're made of, we left with the same answers. We don't have as much depth as we thought we did, and we concede too many goals.
That was Clint Dempsey. All that audio comes courtesy of Fox and the World Cup. Rob, let's talk about this because this does feel like we are kind of dusting off the vinyl and playing the greatest hits. Text line 913-586-7965. I imagine that this is an opinion that a lot of people have. The U.S. will never get to being top 10 in the world due to the fact of how expensive it is to play in legit good travel leagues as these kids grow up. You're never going to get some of the best athletes that our country has to offer because of that cost. I can't speak to how much youth soccer costs. I do think this. I think there are two maybe main points that I have. The first one is, I don't really think that our country cares about being that good at soccer. That's number one. Like, I feel like we at least have to come to that understanding of all of it. I don't think that we, as a country, really care about being that good at it. I think we care about being really good at football. Like, we take pride in it. Communities take pride in you being really good in football. It is something that you are taught from when you are a small child. You will play football in certain parts of the United States. We all love it. So that's one part of it. Like, I don't think that we care enough. And when you see the World Cup and Rob going to a World Cup game, there is a noticeable difference between the relationship that we have as a country with soccer and the relationship that they have when it comes to soccer. It would be nice for us to be good at soccer. They need to be good. Soccer is a part of their culture, the same way that basketball is a part of our culture and football and baseball is a part of our culture. It's radically different when it comes to soccer. I would also say, in that same vein, I don't think we, because of, I guess the first point is, I don't think we want to push those kids to go play soccer. I'll give you an example, because I feel like we always use the top athletes. Let's use somebody like L'Jarius Sneed, for example. You think there's a world in which we'll get to where kids like L'Jarius Sneed grow up and they play soccer? Think about that. L'Jarius Sneed grew up in small town America and turned out from small town America to grow up to play college football, and then grew up from playing college football to winning a Super Bowl. Rob, is there a system in place to get kids like L'Jarius Sneed to go play? Because I don't think that exists. There are systems to get that kid to play basketball. There are systems in place to get that kid to play football and baseball. I don't know if we have a system to get kids like that to go play soccer. So I just feel like, I don't know why we just can't accept as a country, we don't want it bad enough when it comes to this. We really don't. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I feel like everybody else isn't fine with that. I'm cool with the relationship that we have with soccer. We've got the MLS. That's a really cool event to go out to, take your family out to, support sporting. It's really cool to go out to the KC Current. It's cool to watch soccer when it's over there. It's cool to watch soccer when it's on Peacock. But are we really, as a country, willing to invest the resources necessary to be really, really good at soccer? I don't think we care about it enough, and that's fine. Duke could be better at college football if they really wanted to be. Kansas could be better at college football if they really wanted to be. That's not where their passion is. Hey, win 6-7 games. Don't embarrass us. Make a bowl game. And we're going to pump all of our resources because we want Tyron Stokes. We want Darren Peterson. We want to pay for the rules of basketball to be here. We built this entire building to celebrate how good we are at basketball. I just feel like every 4 years we lie to ourselves about how good we want to be at soccer. We do not care about soccer enough to start pumping the resources, whether it is physically, whether it is in bodies and talent, or teaching young kids how to be good at soccer. That's just not where our passion is. The best player on the U.S. team did not learn how to play soccer in America. We were laughing and joking about it. People were getting mad at me. But if Flo Balogun grew up in this country, he would not play soccer. He'd be a basketball player. He'd be a football player. He'd be doing anything else other than playing soccer.
I have no problem with the idea that you send the best players to Europe to train over there. The problem is, for your college football analogy, and Duke, is fine being bad at football. What frustrates me is the people that run U.S. soccer are also fine with it, and that's infuriating. It's one thing if you said you're fine with the way it's working in soccer. You're not a soccer fan. That's fine. If Joe Schmo listening, I don't like soccer, I'm fine with the way it works. That's fine. If you're the people in charge of U.S. soccer, it's not supposed to be fine. Travis Goff, when he speaks with the media at some point this week at Big 12 Media Days, is not going to say, 5-7, 6-6 is cool with me because vibes, He's going to talk about wanting more from the football program. That's what infuriates me, is the people that run U.S. soccer have the same opinion as you, and that's where the fracture is. Dan Wetzel, who might be the best sports writer in America right now, he's very good. has an article right now on ESPN. It's free. I would encourage you to read it. It's all about the fracture in U.S. youth soccer, and we've talked about this on the show. It has become a country club sport. It's pay for play. It's traveling to showcases. It's coaches that aren't really teaching, but they're just taking kids on vacations, which means it's inherently for the rich kids, which means you inherently don't get some of the best available athletes. If the U.S. Federation would fix those things, maybe you'll never get LeBron James to come play soccer over basketball. But you know what? You could get kids who are going D2 for football or playing at Miami, Ohio for football or Miami, Ohio for basketball to be intrigued by soccer. But unless you have the money to belong to Leawood Country Club right now, you're not interested in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, there's a racial component here. I know nobody ever wants to discuss with soccer. We can leave it alone. I just don't know if the point of soccer in this country is to get either those kids interested in soccer and to get those kids playing soccer. And I just don't think that we as a society care enough to be good at it. Everything else that we as a society care about, we actually get really good at. Gymnastics, really important in America. It's really important. We're really good at gymnastics. Like there's some things that track really matters. I don't think that America really cares about being really good at soccer. I don't think that it is important for us to be good at soccer the way that it is with all of those other things. And as long as that continues to be the case, this is just kind of the cycle that we'll be in. I think the U.S. came very, very close to hitting their ceiling in this tournament. They dominated group play. They won their first round game. They went up against a European team that is rated higher than them in the FIFA ratings. They lost. They're out of the tournament. I don't really know if it was ever going to go that much different than how it ended up. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, Daniel Sperry of Sporting Kansas City and the Kansas City Star. He's going to join us. We'll get his opinion on this. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with prominent Mizzou fan Carrington Harrison.
I support Kansas. I want Kansas to win.
On 96.5, The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The world's best soccer teams know success starts with a strong game plan. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. Visit AAA.com and you could save up to 21% by switching to AAA Auto Insurance. You can save even more if you bundle 2 or more policies, like auto and home, to unlock additional multi-policy savings while keeping all your coverage on one team. Head to AAA.com to simplify your insurance, save money, and protect what matters most. One game plan, one team. AAA Insurance.
Country music superstar Luke Bryan. Live. Word on the Street Tour. This Thursday night, Martin Amphitheater. With special guests, Shane Prophet, Ray Lynn, Lauren Watkins, and DJ Rock. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Luke Bryan in concert.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers, believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Here, Raytown, we've got the crash that is 435 northbound just before Gregory. It is the right lane block. Kansas side of things, that crash is 70 eastbound before 18th. Right lane is blocked. Yep, let's go to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Bet365 presents Odyssey Sports Midsummer Baseball Showcase Special from Philadelphia, Monday, July 13th, starting at 9 o'clock. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only. Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm a big believer that a lot of time men, maybe more specifically than women, talk themselves out of things. Like there has been a woman, maybe multiple women in your life that you actually really had a chance. You really did. You were doing everything right up until a certain point. And then you said the wrong thing, you did the wrong thing, and completely ruined it. You were right there. And you kept talking. Sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing at all. Sometimes the best course of action is to not do an action and just be quiet. Let me give you two examples. RG3. Now, I don't have anything against RG3. I mean, we tried to get him on the show a couple of times. I don't have anything against him. He maybe sent the worst tweet in the history of Twitter, and that's tough. That's tough. There's a lot of doozies on there. So it started with, congratulations to Belgium. You beat us fair and square at our best, and you were better. You earned it. Now, Rob, if that's all RG3 would have said, would have been all right. In fact, I don't know who can disagree with that. Hey, salute, Belgium. You won fair and square. United States was the home team. U.S. had all of their players. You won the game. Salute. He kept talking. You had a chance. Everything was going well. Why'd you keep talking? He then sent this tweet out. We lost not only because Belgium is a better team, but because we aren't a united front as fans. We're supposed to be the United States of America, not the divided states of America. Wait, hold on. Hold on. You're telling me it's our fault they lost? Is that the point he's trying to make here? Because I didn't have anything to do with this. He's trying to explain to me that if we were all on the same page, if we were all working together, that's all it would take for us to be better at soccer? I mean, we're super divided. That's not affecting how good we are at basketball. They won the gold medal, didn't they? I mean, this country, it's not all kumbaya. Didn't we just win the gold medal in hockey? Like, maybe I'm forgetting something here. That's all we got to do to be good at soccer is come together? Because I didn't have anything to do with that. You're saying if we got along better, that would have made Christian Pulisic play better? That's what you're telling me? You're telling me if we had got along better, that Desi guy wouldn't have got subbed out at the 45-minute mark? They didn't even give him a second hydration break. They let him just keep the extended time. Hey, you good. We don't need you out here no more. What is RG3 talking about? We weren't a united front as fans, and that's why we lost. It's my fault they lost? Rob, it's your fault? What? So he's saying that if we all come together, me, you, and the text line, the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl? That's all we got to do is just stick together for the next 6 months? I don't know if that plan's going to work. I'm sure I'll upset you guys at some point. What is he talking about? That's number one. That's one of the worst tweets I've ever seen. The next person I want to tell you about, this is not a tweet. This is just another person. Brandon Ayuk. I know somebody in your life cares about you. I know you don't have an agent, but you got to have a friend. You got to have a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a mentor. Everybody has somebody that loves them, cares about you, wants to see you do well, cares about your best interest, is emotionally invested in you. Brandon Ayuk, you got to start listening to those people. Every time Brandon Ayuk gets on the internet, he does more and more damage to himself. He moves like Antonio Brown with none of the benefits of Antonio Brown. I mean, AB's crazy. I mean, I never met him before, but based on his actions, I think that's a fair assumption to come to. AB's crazy. But at one point, Antonio Brown was the best wide receiver in the league. At one point, he was one of the most productive wide receivers in the history of the NFL. I understand why the Raiders were willing to take a chance. I understand why Tom Brady was like, you know what? I think I can make this work.
Twice.
I get that. That all makes sense to me. That lines up. Brandon Ayuk, what are you doing? Brandon Ayuk, maybe you don't have anybody that cares about you. I'm not even sure if I care about you, but from brother to brother, from black man to black man, I do feel like I can give you this advice. You got to disconnect your phone. I'm serious. You got to call Verizon right now and tell them you don't need a phone. You got to call T-Mobile right now and tell them you don't need a phone. You gotta disconnect from Instagram. You got to get off of there. You got to get off Facebook. You're gonna tweet and Facebook and Instagram live yourself out of the National Football League. That's a good job. That's a well-paying job. I can't imagine being the team that will want Brandon Ayuk. In the end, Rob, it's counterculture to what he wants. If Brandon Ayuk's goal is to get off San Francisco, this is the worst way to go about it. Because I imagine you want off of San Francisco. You also want another team to want you. Who in the hell will want Brandon Ayuk? I don't want him. You could tell me Brandon Ayuk would get 1,000 yards next season. I still wouldn't want him in Kansas City. Please keep him. Keep him away from Taylor Swift. Keep him away from Patrick. Keep him away from Andy. Keep him away from everybody. I don't want him around anybody on their team. You think I want him and Rashee Rice talking to each other, communicating with each other? No, not at all. That can't be Rashee Rice's OG. That can't be the veteran in the wide receiver room. Sometimes, I'm telling you, everybody could learn this message. Me too, me included. I'm sure I do this. I've done it before in my life, absolutely. Sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing at all. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is not say anything. RG3, stop tweeting, bro. I'm sorry. I just stop. We want you off of there. I think you should want to get off of there. It can't be fun. It can't be enjoyable. Just continue to do your ESPN thing. Go to the Heisman house. Talk to kids. I'm sure it's a great life. I'm sure it is. And Brandon Ayuk, bro, you can't. I don't want him on any social media, Rob. Not a Facebook, not a Snapchat, not a TikTok, not a nothing. I don't want him to have a phone. If you want to use a phone, you got to use a landline. Like the old days. You got to use a rotary phone, a walkie-talkie. You can't be on your cell phone anymore. Just a terrible decision.
The Brandon Ayuk thing is wild to me.
Crazy.
I mean, he was trying to get on the Commanders, but then Jaden Daniels got asked about it, like, at an event, and he, like, kind of gave a non-answer, and then you started getting all weird on social media. Does he want to play football anymore? Because it's pretty clear on social media he's never going to play football again, but he's acting like he doesn't want to. Like, you wouldn't be doing this. You were actually trying to stay in the league, right?
I don't know, man. I'm serious. I don't know. I wish I had a good answer to your question, but I don't have a good answer to your question. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It confuses me. I just I would advise him to do it. Somebody said, "What if he gets a flip phone?" No. I don't want him to have any phone that has internet access. I want him to have an old school, you got to sit down at the kitchen table, our phone hanging up on the wall with the cord. That's the only kind of phone he can have. Not a pager, not a beeper, not a sidekick, I don't want him to have any of those things. He doesn't need to do that. Maybe he shouldn't even have a phone. Write letters to people. Every time he gets on the phone, it's something bad. It really is. It's something bad that happened. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will reset things. The United States, they got blasted last night against Belgium. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive is always streaming live on our YouTube channel.
If you're a bad tipper, that's okay. You're all right. I'm not here to judge you for that.
Just search for 965 The Fan. Here's your on 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Here, Raytown, we've got the crash that is 435 northbound just before Gregory. It is the right lane block. Kansas side of things, that crash is 70 eastbound before 18th. Right lane is blocked. Yep, let's go to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back. RENNER.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Look, let's be real for a second. When it comes to performance, good just isn't good enough, just like the teams that we cheer for, and that's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Introducing Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes. So there's less waiting, more confidence, and a whole new level of readiness. And I've told you before, confidence is key. You know it the same as I do. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now, with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. It's not just about function anymore. It's about total performance, both physical and mental. They're turning bedroom performance into an Olympic sport. So go for gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. This month, we are offering a camera inspection and diagnosis of your main sewer for only $129. If you haven't used us yet, we would love to win you over. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
I think I came up with a really good analogy that I want to share with you guys, and I just want to get your opinion. Now, I want you to remove your personal feelings toward this. I think you're going to need to do that in order for the analogy to work. We all have had Dippin' Dots before, right? You would agree that Dippin' Dots are pretty popular. They sell Dippin' Dots at baseball games. They sell Dippin' Dots at amusement parks. They sell Dippin' Dots at other little festivals or fairs or whatever. There's no question that Dippin' Dots are popular. And I'm sure by now you know what Dippin' Dots' slogan is. It is the ice cream of the future. They've been saying that since 1989. I looked it up. 1989. It is 2026. Everybody's had Dippin' Dots before. Everybody's seen Dippin' Dots before. Again, no one is denying that Dippin' Dots are popular. They have had a lot of success as a business. But you know what America decided? America decided that even though some people like Dippin' Dots, we like Ben & Jerry's more. America has decided that we like Haagen-Dazs ice cream more. We like Bluebell ice cream a little bit more. Nothing wrong with Dippin' Dots. We like these other ice creams better. It's just for whatever reason. Soccer is a lot like Dippin' Dots. Everybody knows what soccer is. Everybody's tried it. That's the part that when soccer people describe their sport, I don't think that they are accounting. If you are in your mid-30s like I am, maybe you're a little bit older than me, this is not your first time watching soccer. You might not follow it, but the United States, they've been in the World Cup before, multiple times. You watch Landon Donovan. You watch Clint Dempsey. You saw Tim Howard. You've watched United States soccer. You've made a determination on whether or not you like it or not. And kind of like with Dippin' Dots, you like it in certain settings and in certain places. I will never come on here and tell you that soccer is not popular in America. That's not true. There's an entire American league that's doing very well. Sporting in Portland and Seattle and all of these cities. Soccer has gotten so popular, there's a women's league in America that people like and enjoy and follow. You can look at the ratings for the EPL. People watch soccer. People absolutely watch soccer and pay attention to it. It's not like Erling Haaland. It's not like you came into this tournament with no clue with who he is. You know who he is. You know who Kylian Mbappe is. You know who Ronaldo is and Messi and a bunch of other stars. People in America know soccer, I think, a lot more than soccer people want to give us credit. Just like everybody listening, you've tried Dippin' Dots before. But you know what? Even though you might have liked Dippin' Dots, you know what eventually you did? You went back to the other ice creams that you like more. If Dippin' Dots was the ice cream of the future, it would be more popular. There'd be physical stores. It'd be like Dairy Queen, or it'd be like Baskin and Robbins, or it'd be like Sonic. But that's not what it is. You know what Dippin' Dots is? It's a nice niche product that there is clearly a market for. That's what soccer is. It is a niche product. I don't think that there's much more room for growth, whether it's on the field with soccer or off the field, than where we currently are. You know what the NFL is pretty determined in? The NFL is really determined in taking all of your time. All of it. Not just even when the games are happening. They want all of your focus in the offseason. The Super Bowl is going to be on Valentine's Day. Did you know that this upcoming year there's not going to be a break between the combine and the actual start of free agency? Usually there's a 7 to 10 day window. No, the day after the combine is the start of free agency. When do we get a break of not talking about the National Football League? Can you ever foresee a day where on Sports Talk Radio, we're talking about the EPL? For all of you talk soccer more people, do you see a day in which, whether it's on this show, whether it's the other shows, whether it's the other station, where we're breaking down what Sporting did last night? I just don't see us getting to that point. Again, I'm not here telling you that soccer is not popular. I'm not anti-soccer, not pro-soccer. It's just soccer don't mind me. I don't mind soccer. I leave it alone. It leaves me alone. I like the relationship that we have. It's a real wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I got exactly what I needed out of soccer, and I'm done with it. We didn't need to be together. This wasn't a serious thing. You did not need to meet my friends or my parents. No, it was cool for what it was. We hung out for a couple of weeks. I decided to go in my direction. You decided to go in your direction. I wish you nothing but the best. That's how a lot of us feel about soccer. Man, it's been fun these last couple of days. These last couple of weeks. Going to Fan Fest, going to the Orange March, going to the watch parties, going down to P&L, going to the games. Man, it really has been fun. And for my business, for my profession, man, it saved us. I don't know what we would have been doing in June. Not with that baseball team they got. They're terrible. They're awful. I do not enjoy spending my summers talking about that baseball team or playing J.J. Piccolo audio or trying to figure out what double-A minor leaguer the Royals are going to get. I'm not that interested in that. So the World Cup has been a blessing. But we got to be honest with ourselves. We got to be honest with ourselves about how popular soccer can be in this country. We got to be honest with ourselves about how good we can be as a soccer nation, as a soccer country. I don't know if we're going to be that much better than this. I always laugh and I joke, but you guys give me a lot of grief about Missouri, and I get it. Oh, you guys never been to the Final Four. America, they've been having the World Cup. They've only made it 12 times. They didn't make the World Cup a couple of years ago. Since 1930, the United States, they've never made the Final Four. They've obviously never made the championship. They never won the championship. They've only made it to the round of 8 one time since 1930. It was 13 teams. I think we're real close to the ceiling of what they can be as a program. I really do. I think we're real close. And I also just think that soccer, it's just a really popular niche sport. The people that love soccer love it. And yes, there will be people that like it and it will grow. But are we getting EPL games? Is the best league in the world coming to America? Because every other league that we watch here in America, the best of it happens here. The best football players in the world play in America. The best basketball players in the world play in America. The best baseball players come over to America. All of the leagues that we care about and watch, the best golfers in the world, they eventually come to the PGA Tour. If soccer's not going to do that and the best soccer league in the world is not coming here, there is not a world in which it hits a ceiling that makes it rival all of the other sports. It's just not. I'm sorry. This is where we are. So if you like soccer, that's great. I hope you keep going out to support sporting. I hope you keep going out to watch the current. I hope you keep getting your kids to sign up to play soccer. There's a lot of good about the sport, but we just got to be honest about what it is. Soccer, it's not more popular than football in this country. It's not more popular than basketball. It's not more popular than baseball. It is a niche sport in this country. That's what it is.
I think your analogy is good. And one, I don't want to say problem soccer has had, one problem I have with the analogy is, it is clear soccer has made inroads in the last 20 years. 20 years ago, soccer and now are different. People know about the league. People follow the other leagues. It is different. It's not light years different, but it's different. So I think it's a little different than Dippin' Dots in that regard. And the fact that Dippin' Dots hasn't grown in the last 20 years, it's still the same as what it is. It's at Kaufman. It's at Worlds of Fun. That's where you get your Dippin' Dots. I will say this about soccer, and I don't know if it's a problem. I don't know if it's soccer's fault. People 20 years ago, 40 years ago were saying soccer is about to be the number one sport in America. Watch out. Here comes soccer. Here comes soccer. I don't think that's ever happening. And as a result, people now hate that soccer is slowly rising. I don't think it'll ever be 1, 2, or 3. But it is not the sport it was 20, 30, 40 years
Absolutely
ago.
Not.
But the people who said
for sure.
The people who said it was going to grow into a top 3 are wrong. Soccer needs to accept that you are basically what every sport is, other than the NFL. You're riches and niches, and they have a chance to continue to grow in that world. They just, because the best players don't play here, do have a ceiling on how hard they can grow.
And I think if this is the cycle that we're going to have with soccer, I'm thrilled about it. We'll get the Copa America coming up in 2 years. We'll get the Euros coming up. You can always get me interested in international soccer. It's fun to watch the international soccer. It's a very enjoyable television product. It's something I can easily understand. Like, I don't understand all the history with Man City and Chelsea and relegation and all of those things. Like, I don't really understand all of that. I can understand Spain is playing England. Oh, okay, cool. Let me see. I get that. If you're telling me that soccer in this country is going to be, hey, it's cool to go out, it's cool to go to sporting, it's cool to be outside, it's cool to celebrate your city, it's great to be patriotic and support your team and support all of those things, then yeah. And every 4 years, when the U.S. goes on a little bit of a run, we'll watch it, we'll support it. It happens during the dead time when there's not really anything else going on right now. It captures our attention. It's over, and then starting tomorrow, we'll get back to talking about football. That's what we'll get back to. We are less than a month away from the first NFL preseason game. So if you want Chiefs hypotheticals, trust me, we'll get back to them soon enough. I mean, there's still a little bit more World Cup. I'm still interested in this. We got a game in Kansas City coming up this weekend. I'm still interested to see who wins this thing. I mean, I got a bet on Spain and a bet on France. I mean, I'm still interested in the World Cup, but it's over. It was a great run while we had it. It really was. It was a great run. It's over. But I've been making the Olympic analogy. You are not watching swimming right now. You're not watching track and field. I mean, they have major track and field events. You can still watch them. You can see who qualifies for the Olympics if you want. You don't care. Hey, let me know when it's at the end. Let me know when the best and all of them are going to do it, and I'll watch it. And I'll watch it in pretty big numbers. It's kind of what soccer is. Hey, let me know when all the great soccer players are playing. I'll watch it. Especially if it's going to be here in our stadiums, in our time zone, to fit our television schedule. And it's worked. So this World Cup has been a success. A+ in my opinion. I know it didn't end the way that people wanted it to end. I know the U.S. got busted out of the tournament, but I think they came about as close to hitting their ceiling as possible. They dominated the group stage. They won a single elimination game. They made it to the round of 16. They captured our interest for 3 weeks. They got 30 million people to watch it. That's the first 30 million people that watched a sporting event since 2000, or a non-NFL game since 2016. This soccer worked for the last couple of weeks, and we are soon going to move on to what we really care about, which is football in this country. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined by Daniel Sperry. He covers sport in Kansas City and the current in soccer for the Kansas City Star. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive, and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
Yeah.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. It's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
A little bit of a slow go. I see red. Okay, yeah, I do see red. Folks are tapping their brakes. Right lane blocked. 435 eastbound just past it all. In the triangle, 435 northbound just before Gregory. Right lane is blocked there. 2 left lanes are moving pretty smoothly. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Daniel Sperry. He is with the Kansas City Star. He covers soccer. Daniel, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing all right. I'd be doing much better if the USA had at least gave a fighting chance yesterday.
They did the opposite of a fighting chance, actually. They got beat up yesterday.
Complete opposite.
Yeah. So, Daniel, there's game stuff I want to talk to you about. There's individual player stuff I want to talk to you about. So, I mean, you've learned over the course of this. You and I have spoken. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I do think I'm somewhat knowledgeable on the sport. And Rob loves Christian Pulisic. That is his favorite athlete. He has his jersey. He watches him in the EPL. And I was laughing and joking with Rob a couple of days ago, and the text line was killing me for this. I've never seen Christian Pulisic play well. I'm not saying he's never played well. I'm just saying in the games that I watch, in the World Cup games, I've never seen him do anything. Yesterday, they're going up against this opponent. Man, they desperately needed him yesterday. And he was missing in action. He did nothing in the first half of the game, and then he had to come out because he got hurt.
Yeah, he gave the ball away 11 times in the first half. That is just disappointing. That is so difficult to take. And I say this, you're probably right that you've never seen Christian Pulisic play well, because I don't know that I've ever seen him step up in the marquee moment, whether that be even in CONCACAF Gold Cup, whether that be in Copa America, whether that's in the World Cup. I have yet to see Christian Pulisic step up in the moment and deliver. And it's so infuriating at times for a guy who easily, probably in terms of what he is naturally gifted with as the ability as a soccer player, is beyond anything that we've probably ever had for many American players. I think there's maybe a few who might ever come close. And yet it just feels like it's constantly squandered, whether it's injury, whether it is poor performance, whether it is he wants to take a rest during the last big tournament before a World Cup and the Gold Cup, when you don't have to go through World Cup qualifying and you don't get tested on the road, you don't get tested in tough environments. And they were not great in World Cup qualifying in those environments going into 2022. You could excuse all of that in the years prior because, they're young, they're still learning, and they're coming through. But Pulisic's 27. The next World Cup, he's going to be 31. And the question that I have is, when are we going to get my question is, when are we going to get a marquee moment from Pulisic? And I just don't know if the answer is going to be ever, because it's so frustrating to see this guy have that talent and then just never deliver when you need it the most. And just watching Messi earlier, didn't have a great first 60 minutes of the game. Came to life, and now it's Messi, right? There's differences here, but there's not there. You can control like the drive, the effort, and the intensity, no matter what your talent is, and that never waned for Messi. That never waned for Argentina. You watch Colombia right now against Switzerland. That intensity never waned, and I feel like every single time we get to the big moment with Pulisic, I see that intensity drop or not show up, and that's just where. That's where I'm left begging for more from him. And so you're right. You've probably never seen him have a big moment for the U.S. because I don't know that he has. And I don't know yet if he will, because if something has to change internally there, I think.
I mean, we've discussed this golden generation, and I imagine that he's one of the people that's a part of it. How would you describe this golden generation? How would you explain this golden generation, as it feels like all of it was sort of leading towards this moment? The U.S. was going to host the World Cup. They got as deep in this tournament as they have in quite some time. On paper, it felt like a coin flip kind of game, and they flamed out ultimately of the tournament.
Yeah, and this is a group that I think, based on what you've built in with that group, after 2018, they failed to make the World Cup, right? Or going into the 2018 World Cup, they did not make it. And then you had this, they kind of cut out most of the older guys, even if they were like late 20s, right? 29, 30, guys that maybe could have been there at least as vets going into 22 in that 33 to 34 age range. And they took one of the youngest teams ever to the World Cup in 22. Now you say, okay, you've got a World Cup of experience under your belt. You played England, you played Wales, you played Iran, and then you played the Netherlands over there. That should have given you some experience to learn from going into that World Cup, this one in 2026, that we were going to host. The opportunity they've shipped off most of these guys. I was looking at this lineup of the players that started. Only 2 of them currently play in MLS, and I think 4 of them have ever played a minute in Major League Soccer. The rest of them have been either MLS products that were like Weston McKennie and Chris Richards, who were great academy stars and immediately shipped to Europe to develop, or guys that they found in Europe, like a Serginho Dest, like a Anthony Robinson, like a Malik Tillman, that had those ties, and even Fuller and Balogun. Those guys had those ties. Pulisic never came through an MLS academy. He was straight into Borussia Dortmund because he had a Croatian passport. So, like, even at the youth level before the 2018 debacle, like, we were pushing these guys at 16, 17, and 18 into Europe to try and get them ready so that when they're in their prime, they can come together at a World Cup and hopefully do well. And to see them now kind of come into the match where this is it, they're in their prime years, 26, 27, Pulisic's 27, McKennie and Adams are both 27, Anthony Robinson is 28 or 29, Balogun's 25. Like, these are guys that are right in the prime of their years for pro soccer. And for the home World Cup, you would, in everything lined up for them to potentially make a big statement and finally beat one of the big teams. And they've had the experience. And, after the game, you even see a lot of the guys dapping each other up. They've played together. They'll play together on the same clubs, play against each other regularly. So it's not like these guys are not getting tested at the highest level. They all play with them or against their opponents, and they got whooped. They didn't show up in the moment, and they kind of shrunk. And I'm just kind of shaking my head at the loss of going as far as they did, as they always have, which is to make it to the round of 16 and to fail, just like other generations who have been less talented, less privileged to be given the opportunities and the pathways to go play in Europe and test themselves. They did as good as all of them. And that's just, I think, the most frustrating thing about looking at that match last night in hindsight, is that what a waste of the big moment for what was supposed to be the golden American generation.
Right now, we're talking to Daniel Sperry. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star, just going through the United States being eliminated from the World Cup. Also want to get his thoughts on the great come-from-behind victory that we saw from Argentina. I'm sure as a soccer person, you have sat around and you have had this conversation with other soccer people. If somebody put you in charge of United States soccer, what would be some of your fixes? What were some of your proposals be to turn this around? Because every 4 years, I feel like we have the exact same conversations about soccer. I think you can see a noticeable improvement in the talent, but there still appears to be a gap between the United States and some of the top European teams. We just saw that in this game. What would some of your fixes be to turn American soccer around?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me would be simply to make sure that these guys that are playing with the national team are playing with each other regularly. The Argentina national team, right? They've got a couple of players. Messi plays with Rodrigo de Paul, who plays in the midfield for them. They play together at the club level. So they train every single day together. They play every single day together, play every single game together. A lot of these guys in this group, every single time they're called in to represent Argentina, as long as they are remotely healthy, they're doing it and they're playing these games. I think we're at a point now where we have enough prospects that are going to go to Europe. The pathways have been opened up for that to continue. MLS academies are pumping out high-level players more than ever before. And even some of the other academies around the country that are not like within the MLS loop are also doing the same and sending players to Europe. And so to kind of get that test. So like we've built that pathway in. Now it's about like this is, going back to this with Pulisic kind of bowing out of the CONCACAF Gold Cup last year and a few others. The main group of this men's national team had not played a competitive match together really before the World Cup since the 2024 Copa America, which was under a different coach. And so under Greg Berhalter. So then you're looking there at the aftermath of that. They get Mauricio Pochettino in, and then they never actually get a real hard competitive match in with the full group together until they get to the World Cup. And they tried it in friendlies. They tried to play these games against Portugal and Senegal and Belgium and Germany in the build-up to the World Cup. But, they play the guys for 45 to 60 minutes, and, they're more worried about trying to put together tactics and stuff like that. They really just never got the opportunity to do this and play with that top group consistently over the last 4 years. And I think look at the Argentina team today. Like this is borderline the same group that played in the World Cup final in 2024. And they've played every single World Cup qualifying match. They've played every single Copa America match together for the last 4 years. And they did that for the cycle before the 2022 World Cup. I think that's where there is a true like central camaraderie around all of them that the U.S. did not have in this as well, and experience playing together in tough moments. And so I would love to see going forward them try and actually do that with this team, because I think this generation of the U.S. player got coddled a little bit, allowed to, Pulisic's allowed to take a major tournament off. I don't love that at all. I don't love, there was one player who did the same thing, and he didn't get anywhere near the roster for the World Cup, but because Pulisic is Pulisic, we allowed him to do that. And so I think that's the kind of I would love to see a bit of you come in and you play for the national team and you give your all, or you don't get called in, and you come and do it every time. And if you kind of create a higher level of expectation for how the American player should be conducting oneself when representing the country and how often they are doing so, then I think maybe we'll be able to kind of mix that talent with that passion and that together fight that a group like Argentina showed. Even Belgium rallied together around the whole Fuller and Balogun stuff. You could see it. That is a locker room that is easily like a powder keg. One spark in it could blow up. There are stories in that locker room of players stealing each other's girlfriends. Like it is not a great splint, and they were able to find something to rally around and come together and just absolutely throttle someone. And Argentina does the same. They rally around supporting Leo Messi. They rally around their brotherhood. And I don't know that the U.S. has that yet. And so that will allow you to play above what your maybe talent threshold is, and beyond that, and take you to the next level. And so I just think I'd love to see that specifically for the U.S. men's national team, because you can go on and talk about pay to play for youth soccer. You can go talk about MLS academies and the MLS league, and you can talk about all that stuff. But ultimately, for the top 10% that goes and plays for the U.S. men's national team, that is like what is needed. And that those other little things that we're talking about, pay to play, all the pathway stuff, that doesn't matter really in terms of that top group that we have, because the talent is there, but the effort, the togetherness just was not in the biggest moment needed.
Right now, we're talking to Daniel Sperry for a couple more minutes here. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. Two last questions here. Let's start with the come-from-behind win that we saw just a few hours ago between Argentina and Egypt. What a game. What a comeback. I mean, that might be the second craziest comeback that we've seen in the last month, second to the Knicks, who were down 29 points in the second half of the NBA Finals. What a run for Argentina that now finds themselves in the final 8 teams.
Yeah, and for a second there, I really thought they were on the ropes. Egypt goes up 2-0. VAR calls it back. It's a foul. I know Egypt doesn't love it. I know a lot of fans don't love it, but it's a foul, and it led to the goal. It allowed Egypt to score the goal. Otherwise, that play doesn't even happen. So you call it back. But then Egypt immediately gets another one at 2 and makes it 2-0. And I just thought, man, that was the moment. Argentina gets a break, and then they go level at 1-1, and it never happened. So then when Egypt went up 2-0, I thought it was over. But to get 2 goals like that in 5 minutes just shows that if you hang around, you believe, and you keep putting in all your effort, some things break your way, you get the right rebounds, and ultimately you have a guy like Messi who can make that incredible cross to Christian Romero. He finishes off the play, and then at that point, Egypt was just kind of all out of sorts, and Argentina capitalized again, able to keep their composure, find a way to win in the biggest moments. This Argentina team, even in the 22 World Cup, they were tested along the way. They went to a penalty kick shootout. They lost early to Saudi Arabia. They weren't always great, but they always found a way to win. And I just think that's what kind of makes this team so great, is their ability to come back like what we saw against Egypt, and backs against the wall. They seem to do it every time. And it's one of those, just you cannot doubt that team in any way, shape, or form.
We got a game that's going on right now. The winner of this game will play Argentina in Kansas City on Saturday, Switzerland and Colombia. It is tied 0-0 in the 77th minute. I have not been watching it. I don't know how to work the TV here. I turn into an old person all of a sudden whenever I walk into the studio. I have no clue how to work the television. So you got to explain it to me. How is this game going so far? Who do you think wins? Who do you ultimately faces Argentina on Saturday?
I'm kind of 50-50 on this game. I think both teams are very even, and I think that's why this game's probably going to end up in extra time. I say personally, I would love Colombia to win, because I think the spectacle of that game at Arrowhead, those have easily been far and away the 2 best fan bases that have come to Kansas City, the Colombian fans and Argentinian fans, as far as in-stadium atmosphere and support. And to get the mix of that, the kind of fire that will happen on the field between the 2 teams. It is a South American rivalry. It was the last South American championship game, the Copa America in 2024. It was Colombia and Argentina. Like that is top level. But then the soccer that might get played, if it's Switzerland and Argentina, might be better overall soccer, I think. And so I'm kind of torn here. But ultimately, I'm kind of hoping Colombia pulls it out. But I won't be surprised if this game even ends up into extra time or in a penalty shootout. Because right now it's 0-0. It's very even. It's about 50-50 possession. They both have the same amount of shots on target. They both have the same amount of touches in the opponent's penalty area. I mean, it is about as even as a game can get. It's a little back and forth, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're on your way home or can figure out your TV, tune in, because I think that extra time and that might come here in a penalty shootout would be a great spectacle. And like I said, fingers crossed we get that Colombia-Argentina matchup, but I don't think we will lose any way, shape, or form in Kansas City if it's Argentina-Switzerland on Saturday.
This is the most important question that I've asked you. I'm sure by now you've seen that Adam Sandler, he did the wedding for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Is there a celebrity that you would like to do your wedding? And What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Adam Sandler movie is going to be, I'll say this. For one, I am not a huge Adam Sandler. I'm not a huge movie guy, anyways. But I will, if I had to choose a celebrity, I will say, personally, I'll take a soccer route. I'll take Zlatan because he might say something absolutely hilarious as the officiant. Thankfully, I had a family friend that is a minister to my wedding of almost 10 years ago now. Zlatan, I think if I could choose a celebrity, he has been entertaining and hilarious in all of these World Cup coverage, and I'll take him just to say something crazy. And then Adam Sandler movie, I guess I got to go Happy Gilmore.
That is Daniel Sperry joining us on the show. He's with the Kansas City Star. He covers soccer, talking a little bit of World Cup. Daniel, I don't want you to think this is the last time we'll have you on the show. Just because the United States is out of the World Cup, it does not mean the World Cup is over. I still want to see who wins this thing, so we'll have you on next week, man. I appreciate your time.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. That is Daniel Sperry joining us on the show today. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. Coming up on the other side, we'll put a bow on this thing. We are off early today because of the Royals. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This July is America's 250th birthday, so declare your independence from low testosterone at Low T Center. Start with a free T-test, stay on treatment for 90 days, and receive $250 back. It's the Low T Center 250 for 250 offer. FixMyLowT.com and book your free T-test. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Tonight, expect mostly clear skies with a low of 71.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match results bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
The crash 71 northbound as you approach 39th. 2 right lanes are blocked. 49 northbound just before Blue Ridge Boulevard. This is a new wreck. Right lane blocked there. And then 435 eastbound just past Knoll. Right lane still blocked by that stalled big rig. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Bet365 presents Odyssey Sports Midsummer Baseball Showcase Special from Philadelphia, Monday, July 13th, starting at 9 o'clock. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. Text line 913-586-7965. See that I can't wait for soccer to be over so you guys will stop talking about it. I appreciate you guys listening. I don't want you to take it as I don't appreciate it, but I will never understand listening to the sports talk show and then being mad that they're talking about the sports that are happening. I mean, you're right. We usually wouldn't be talking about soccer, but it's the only thing that's moving and shaking right now. I mean, there's nothing else happening. I mean, the Royals are bad. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you guys don't care about me. I mean, you don't want me to be happy coming to do the show every day. I mean, the Royals have as many wins as the Colorado Rockies. There's not a lot. You guys where's LeBron going to go? You guys got mad. We tried to break down the Jaylen Brown trade. They yelled at us on the text line. I don't know what to do in this situation. Soccer is what we got. That's what the sports gods have given us. They've given us soccer. I mean, we only got 10 more days of it. July 17th, that's the finale. Soon enough. I mean, we'll be back to talking about the same stuff we were talking about in June. We'll be back to arguing if Josh Simmons is good. We'll be back. We'll be back to debating how many yards Xavier Worthy's going to get this season and that you guys give him a pass for not being good last year. We'll be back to doing that, but right now it's soccer time, you know? That's what I think. It's soccer's time right now, Rob.
By the time soccer is over and the World Cup ends, and hopefully we get France-Argentina again, that would be fantastic. A week later, we report to camp, and me and you can break down if Jason Brownlee will or won't make the roster.
Oh, yeah.
That's our favorite.
Oh, man.
When you guys see a play by Nico Remigio and you guys are convinced he's the thing, that's where this show thrives.
Who do you think is going to say they're in the best shape of their life?
Felix. 100% Felix.
Oh, that's a great one.
Make or break year.
That's a really good one.
Off injury. Hometown guy, forgotten about in the rotation. He shows up in the best shape of his life.
Do you think anybody will ask Harrison Butker if he was at the wedding for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and if he wasn't, was he invited?
I think someone's going to ask Travis Kelce, can you give us a list of players that weren't invited? Just give us a full breakdown. Who out there in practice today didn't get to go to the wedding?
You've never seen Brad G move faster than you've seen him move. They would end that interview so quickly. Hey, Harrison, were you invited to the wedding? Do you feel away because you were not invited to the wedding? Thanks, guys. You hear Brad in the back. I mean, the last time you ever talk at a Chiefs press conference.
To be fair, it would go like this. You'd hear Harrison go, well, then his mic cuts out.
Yeah, his mic would just stop.
Then you hear Brad go, hey, we got technical difficulties, guys. Let's shut her down.
That's exactly how it would go. His mic would just out of nowhere. It would just stop working. His mouth would still be moving. It'd be like a Chinese dub. That's what it would be like. It'd be like a karate movie dub is what it would be like. All right,
Nate would be furiously writing his notes. He was saying this. I'm right here. I can hear it.
That's my favorite one. So, I mean, this is what we led the show with, to just give you guys an idea if you missed the very beginning of the show. I'm proud of the United States team. I think the United States team, I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do. We had some great watch parties. Oh, hold on. We had some great gatherings to watch the United States play soccer. It was fun. It was enjoyable. We got to meet a lot of people. The U.S. gave us topics. They gave us controversy. They created a new star. They were fun. They were enjoyable. Maybe you got a chance to go down to Fan Fest. Maybe you went down to Power and Light. Maybe you met with your family to watch. The United States did exactly what it's supposed to do. This is the analogy that I made. The United States soccer team, they are a football team at a basketball school. I know you guys give me a hard time. I don't think you guys really care if Kansas is that good at football. I mean, it would be nice if they were really good at football, but all you got to do at Kansas is win 7 or 8 games. And if you win 7 or 8 games, they will never fire you. You will be employed for a very long period of time, and you will make a lot of money to be the coach. That's not the case at every school, just like it's not the case for every country. But if you could just win 7 or 8 games, great. But in order for Kansas to maybe be a little bit better at football, it might take a measure of sacrifice. Maybe you don't get Darren Peterson. Maybe you don't get Tyron Stokes, because it would take more money. And the money that you could be donating to get the football team better, you give it to the basketball team. So in the end, all you want for the Kansas football team is to have a couple of good tailgates, go out there, and when you're out there, they win. And when they're on the road, hopefully they don't embarrass you. Win your 7 or 8 games, beat Mizzou every once in a while, break the streak against K-State. Just keep it pushing until we get to basketball. You only got to hold on to like the middle of October, and then we'll move on. That's all U.S. soccer needs to do every 4 years. Every 4 years, can you be a nice distraction? You guys want to talk about what team LeBron is going to go to? I don't really want to do that every single day. All you want is the soccer team to be Duke football. That's all they need to be. Win 7 or 8 games every year. Just be good. Just be competitive. They are Texas A&M. Texas A&M has some decent years. They were decent this past year. They made the college football playoff. You didn't really think that team was going to win the national championship, did you? No. But the fall was great. It was phenomenal. You got to storm the field a couple of times. You got to celebrate. You got to go to Burger Bar, and you got to throw the goalpost into Potter Lake. I'm sure it was a great time. That's all the U.S. were. A couple of weeks ago, you guys were mad when Rob said they weren't going to win the tournament. You guys called him a traitor, is what you called him. They got busted in this tournament. The text line said it. I tell you guys, you cheer for Mizzou. You don't know it, but you do. The United States and soccer, they're Mizzou. They're a 9, maybe 10-win program if the schedule breaks right. And then when they play one of the big dogs in the SEC, They usually lose that game and they get busted. And then you laugh at me for being excited in them. That's when you let the United States Soccer do that. You'll let it happen again in 4 years. But until then, why don't you watch the rest of the good teams in the World Cup? They're going to continue to play. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.